Hey guys, it's Peter Chen, making another 500 Zoom video. I'm continuing right where I left off from my last video. The 500 Zoom pool is pretty soft right now. Table 1, I'm going to defend against this 3.5x raise. And table 2, I'm going to check my big blind against a limp. I think I can do a lot of raising on table 1. Table 2, I'm going to open my small blind with Queen 7. Table 2, opening King Queen. I'm going to fold. Table 2, I'm going to 3-bet with King Queen, small blind versus button. And on table 1, I'm going to 3-bet King 8 suited. I could flat this hand as well. Table 2, I'm going to call Ace 9 suited from the big blind against cutoff. And I have a very checky hand on a very checky board right now. On table 2, I think Ace 2 is close. I could do anything with it. On table 1, I'm going to 3-bet Ace 9 suited. On table 2, I can either 3-bet or call this hand. It's pretty much the bottom of my range. And I'm going to call the flop. At table 1, I'm going to make a pretty loose open. Because of the soft table. On table 2, check through on the turn, and I river a very good hand. Think I can bet big. I have a lot of 7s. I'm going to make another loose open on table 1. By loose, I mean I should probably be opening it a pretty small percentage of the time. But in that situation, I was just doing it all of the time. On table 2, I'm going to 3-bet ace-10 off. It's going to be a pretty low frequency 3-bet. On table 1, I open Jack-10 offsuit from the button. I'm going to bet half pot on the flop. I think this is a turn where I could either check or bet. Going to check this time. Now I think I can bet the river. Six isn't the best card for us, but I think my hand is still strong enough. Gets called by 9 or an 8. On table 2, I'm going to flat this 3-bet ace-5 suited. And fold to the bet on the flop. On table 1, I have ace-5 suited as well, and we have a flop that I'm going to be almost always checking on blind versus blind. On the turn, I think I can still check my hand a decent amount of time and call if he bets. So that's what I'm going to do. On table 2, flatting a 3-bet from the small blind. And with the second pair, I'm just always going to be calling again. And now I think I can fold on the turn. On table 2, I think this is very close. Maybe I'm always supposed to call, but I'm not sure. And on table 1, I open 5s, and I'm pretty sure I get some big bets on this flop, and my hand is pretty good to big bet, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to check back the turn. I was going to say I want to bet this river, and he bet like an eighth of the pot, so I probably just want to raise him. Just going to treat the super small bet as something that's close to a check. On table 2, I can either call or raise. And on the flop, I think I can either bet or check. So I'm always calling on table 2. He bet pot, but my hand is too strong to fold and too weak to raise. I think I'm always calling again. My 7 should be a good blocker, and I have no bad blockers, which would be probably the flush cards. On table 2, I'm opening ace-9 suited under the gun. And table 1, opening ace-jack from the button. On this flop, I get some big bets. On table 2, I defended the big blind against cutoff and button with pocket fours, never leading. And now I think my hand is not strong enough to call. Table 1, opening pocket sixes. And I'm going to call the 3-bet. This is a pretty bad flop for my hand. I think my hand is weak enough to fold now. Probably call if I had a diamond. On table 2, I'm 3-betting aces. And I'm going to bet quarter pot on the flop. On table 1, I defended the big blind against small blind raise. And I'm going to call with my gutter and backdoor flush draw. On table 2, I think I can still bet big. It's not the greatest turn for me, but also he doesn't have that many hands that improved. On table 1, I think my hand is very close. I'm going to call. And I'm going to bet the flop. I think this is going to be a really low frequency bet. I'm going to continue betting on the turn. On table 2, I'm squeezing tens from the big blind. And continue for a quarter pot. I think the ace is a pretty good card for me, and I'm probably supposed to just bet small high percentage of the time. My hand is pretty good to check, but I think we're just betting very often on that turn, so I have to bet my hand sometimes. On table 1, small blind opened for a min raise. I think I can bet one more time. Maybe checking is a good option too. I think check and then go for value on the river. I'll get called by more since most of his hands are a pair. 6 seems reasonable to keep betting on. And I would probably bet again on any turn. Except maybe a jack. In table 2, if it folded around to me, I was going to call the open, but obviously can't call a 3-bet. Opening aces on table 2, and opening ace-9 off from the cutoff on table 1. I'm going to 4-bet. I think on this flop we just get to bet small with our entire range. I think I'm supposed to call. And I'm going to call down. Hopefully he has a king, and he does. On table 2, defending 3s from the big blind. On the flop, I think I mostly want to be raising or folding, and going to be folding a lot. On table 2, I opened ace-3. I'm not sure if I want to bet big with this hand. On table 1, I opened 7s under the gun, cutoff called, and I got squeezed and called. I can either call or fold pre-flop, and now on the flop I think I have to peel one. on the turn, I think I have to check back. I think I have to bluff my hand now. My main high card hands are ones that have queens in them or diamonds. So with sevens, I kind of just had the bottom of my range. On table one, I'm going to 4-bet with nines. This is probably the borderline hand. On table one, I opened the button with ace jack. I think I'm going to check with my hand. And I should be strong enough to call a bet on the turn. Having a club and a spade are probably both bad cards to call with, but I think my hand strength is just too strong to fold. Now checking back. On table two, the ace of diamonds is a pretty good hand to bet with, but I don't think that I get to bet it always. On table one, opening ace queen off from hijack, and on table two, defending against a min raise. I think I get to raise sometimes with my hand. I'm going to call this time. I hit a flush, and I think now I'm pretty much always raising. I'm not sure if I raise all of my flushes, but I'm definitely raising the stronger ones. In table 1, I think I can raise this sometimes. I'm going to do it. And now I will reluctantly call a 4-bet with my 8 high. I'm going to check back. At some time in this hand, I'm going to have to put in a bet if he keeps checking, but I don't think I have to do it on the flop. And now I can fold to a quarter pot bet on the turn. On table 2, I'm opening King 9 from the small blind. I get a flop where I check back, where I check a lot of the time. I think my hand is maybe strong enough to call. On table 1, I have 10-5. I get to raise this hand sometimes. And I'm going to continue for quarter pot on the flop. Table 2, I hit a very good turn for me. Don't think I can raise. And on table 1, I'm going to call with my middle pair. And now I think I can fold the turn. I'm going to end the video now. So thanks for watching. Bye.